I think they're hunting the protomorph that's got on the ship. This has been highlighted before, so it'd be interesting to see how they hunt that down, whether they succeed. Next shot we've got coming up is David and Wayland, and I think it would be interesting to see, and I think this will be touched on in the film, how their relationship built, and the origins of David. We'll go deeper in his mentality. A great shot here of Ridley Scott and the crew, taken from the Empire magazine. And this shot I want to highlight here. This looks like obviously this must be the planet where we're on now in Convenant. On the left hand side we have the Tempodorium or whatever, the worshipping center. In the middle we have some sort of giant hole, and this was before the attack happened with David. And we can see a whole civilization of buildings and civilization before David came on the scene, of course. And as we can see, created a lot of devastation with the black goo, and I think the hole has these giant engineer heads in there. So I think this race worship them. I don't think they're engineers. I think they're a strand or a creation by the engineers. But David must have fought differently and had revenge, and the next shot will basically illustrate that, because there was rumors that he wiped them out, or from the trailer, and this from the Empire magazine will clearly demonstrate that David did in fact wipe them out. This is a really interesting shot. I think this is some sort of ship, transport system, or weapon system, or communicator. I think it's got to be one of those three, and we know the variations from the design work here, that there are different sort of juggernauts, not just the classic circle one we're used to. And here's the classic shot. It's proof that David annihilated everything on this planet, and this is where the black goos come from and why it's terraformed or changed the environment. He had revenge, I think, from Prometheus. Didn't know that this was a different strand of engineers, and had revenge on mine. And we can see the results here. The charred bodies laying everywhere from David's aftermath, which we've seen highlighted in the trailers. And really classic. And this is where the proof, I believe, that these are not engineers. I think they're a kind of creation by the engineers, a lower form race or a worshipping race that worship the engineers, but have their features with humanoid features added in, but are not primarily engineers of any sort. And you can see that the skin color is different, their facial features are very humanoid. As you can see, an engineer is different, very alien-like in some forms, and you can see the terror on their faces. They're looking up as evil David comes to annihilate everybody on the planet with revenge in mind. Sure, God damn you for bringing that guy back in space, but we wouldn't have this wonderful film, I hope, due to that. So very interesting shot. There was sun, there was humidity, there was environments before the black goo. Obviously that amount of black goo changed the whole environment and wiped out this entire race, whoever they are, and it'll be interesting to see that. This is a great shot. Now I think this is some sort of pipe communication level with the Juggernaut, or maybe some sort of stimulant or mind controlling drug, who knows. But I think David is going to manipulate Walter, and he's going to change him and form him to go against the crew, or use that, because I believe that David thinks he's superior. And I think coming up now you can see the pipe that was used in the original Prometheus as a sort of communication tool. So there could be that. It could be that David's showing Walter how to do these things. So that's and this David with long hair, I think maybe a wig. I can't see how that can be. He's a synthetic, but interesting angle. It must have been after he arrived. He looks quite mad, and this is a great shot of the protomorph sort of consuming something, and that's an evil-looking beast, completely different to the xenomorph. Really interesting strand of creature, very brutal-like, scary looking. So I'm interested to see. This is Daniels taking a shot at the protomorph that's come on board, as we saw highlighted in the original trailer. So many, but one of the trailers. She's kind of going for that Ripley angle, I guess, or they're going for that. She's going to be the hero, the heroine, I hope. I don't think she's connected to Ripley. And this shot here is classic. And this is different because it's completely formed. It's not the typical alien. So I think this is a different strand of Xenomorph, the Protomorph. And it will be great to see how this pans out, how this transforms into the creature we know in the current trailers that we've seen. So this is a quick rundown on Alien Convenant. Thank you very much.